All right. Well, hello everyone and welcome in. My name is Tracy and I am a CSM here at Bonusly. And I'm very excited to jump into our Boosting Participation Bootcamp series today. So this series is going to cover common industry pain points and practical solutions to help boost participation within the Bonusly platform, while also enhancing team culture and overall engagement. And today we are going to be focusing on the healthcare industry. So let me go ahead and move some things around and we will jump right in. Alrighty, so in terms of our agenda today, first, we will start off discussing how you can view your current participation metrics within the platform. And from there, we will cover key challenges in the healthcare space and Bonusly features that help solve for these pain points and help increase participation. Now, before we dive in, I want to kind of set the stage a little bit and talk about why this matters. So, we work with over 500 healthcare customers and consistently see challenges like high turnover and burnout, employee disconnect, and outdated recognition methods that really just don't resonate with today's workforce. So, on today's call, we will cover how Bonusly features can really help not only solve for some of these pain points, but also help to increase participation within the Bonusly platform in order to really build a stronger workplace culture overall, to really foster communication, connection, engagement, boost morale, and retention, as well as just, performance across the board. So that's the purpose of today's call. So I want us to first start off on how you can actually view and understand your current participation rates. I think that's really important as we start to dive into this. So the first step to diving further into your participation rate would be taking a look at the Bonusly Analytics participation graph, as you can see here. This is a great tool for reviewing and analyzing company participation rates across the different business segments and departments. Now, you'll be able to customize and filter this graph based on giving or receiving, and then department as well as time frame. Now, of course, participation can vary by company. However, we see on average around 60 to 80% of employees both giving and receiving recognition in a month. And of course, again, one of the purposes of today's call will be uncovering ways to help you increase these participation percentages and utilize Bonusly to its full potential. So next up, we have program adoption. So this is another great place to view participation rates within your admin dashboard. So your Bonusly admin dashboard is essentially a one-stop shop for everything that you need to make data-driven decisions about your recognition program. It is going to pull in data and information from other pages and reports within Bonusly, providing a quick snapshot overview of some of those important insights from your Bonusly account. And it will also showcase an overview of company-wide participation, recognition rates, and program adoption, uncovering the impact of your recognition strategy. Alrighty, so now let's go ahead and uncover some key challenges within the healthcare space that we've seen from our customers and discuss how Bonusly helps provide some practical solutions. Perfect. So, a really big key challenge that we see that is noteworthy is healthcare workers face long hours, stressful situations, and emotional strain, leading to high turnover and burnout. Bonusly offers a powerful solution by fostering a thriving culture of appreciation and recognition to boost morale and improve employee retention. By implementing recognition for contributions and achievements, you are really showing appreciation for all of the hard work and dedication of your healthcare professionals. And this can, in turn, create a more positive and supportive work environment where employees feel valued and seen. And of course, when employees feel valued and recognized and seen, then it directly translates to increased job satisfaction and a greater desire to stay within the company. Oh, I think I might have gone ahead one. Let's see. Alrighty. So, with that being said, peer-to-peer recognition helps build connections and cultures across those different teams within the organization by showcasing positive success stories that amplify wins and strengthen the bonds across the team, as well as the entire organization. So, for example, some elements of peer-to-peer in motion. You have the ability to tie company values to each recognition post by utilizing company value hashtags. This is also really important to tie any initiatives into the work that the teams are doing. You also have the ability to highlight and promote the use of our gratitude gauge. As you can see here, our gratitude gauge and peer-to-peer recognition really ensures that recognition is done right, making recognition personal, meaningful, insightful, and detailed. You also have the ability to tag managers on recognition posts to increase the visibility into the work that their teams are doing so that they don't miss out on any important recognition from their direct reports. Bookmarking recognition as well. You can bookmark recognition and award posts to go back to at a later time or a later date. This can really help support performance conversations moving forward as well. Also, you have the ability to set custom allowance rules based on department, location, and role. And these additional givable points can be given to managers specific to the number of direct reports that they have, as they are primarily going to do the bulk of giving. You also can have different point amounts for full-time employees versus part-time or seasonal as well. So another key challenge that we typically see is outdated recognition. Traditional recognition efforts and programs are often ineffective and not meaningful to employees. But Bonusly gives you a really fresh, modern way to bring your recognition efforts to life. Again, particularly in the healthcare environment where old systems and limited tech can get in the way. This is where, Bonusly really shines. We help provide a streamlined, user-friendly platform that really helps replace some of those outdated and inefficient methods. Our platform is intuitive and engaging, and it makes giving and receiving recognition fairly easy and almost always very enjoyable for everyone. And this digital approach really can replace some of those cumbersome manual processes. If you're living out of spreadsheets, it can really help with that. Any outdated legacy systems that you might have, Bonusly really helps provide that modern, accessible solution. You can also automate recognition programs as well. This can help increase efficiency and effectiveness to empower employees to select rewards that really matter to them. You can also automate recognition workflows for things like milestones and achievements. This really helps save time, ensuring consistent appreciation. And Bonusly also empowers employees to redeem their earned points for a wide variety of rewards. Rewards that are personal and meaningful to them, increasing the impact and the effectiveness of your recognition program. So, some examples of this include we'll start off with custom rewards. So, custom rewards or company exclusives, as you might know them to be, provide diversity of reward options that really help increase that employee satisfaction by providing additional rewards that employees really like and want. It also allows for more control over reward spending and therefore can help reduce costs overall. So some examples of this could be company swag, extra time off, access to mental health apps or subscriptions, as well as local donations. On that note, Bonusly nominations can help play a pivotal role in building a modern recognition program that not only incentivizes that exceptional performance, but it also creates a culture where every contribution is seen and celebrated. Now, nominations are fairly new, I would say, the last 6 to 8 months. So if you haven't had a chance to take a look at these, I highly recommend it. Nominations can help streamline the overall nomination process that you might have already, but to take it further than just a simple Google form. So when employees can nominate their teammates for awards based on things like achievements, values, or just contributions, those everyday wins really turn into meaningful moments that help bring your culture to life. So, for example, I have some customers who help use the nomination process for team members for certain awards. So, for things like going above and beyond, core value champion awards, um, compassionate caregiver, mentor of the month. But we've also seen it used as a potential voting system for some internal company contests. So some fun things, with Halloween coming up, I have seen some customers, they have, utilized the nominations process for like costume contests, trivia contests, or if there's ever any sort of potluck, you could use the nominations process to find out who made the best dish. So there's some fun elements there at play as well. Alrighty, so let's jump into our next key challenge. So this is a big one. This is employee disconnect. So typically, we see in the past that large healthcare systems can often struggle with communication and engagement across the different departments and locations. But Bonusly directly addresses these challenges by offering that tangible solution to help bridge some of those divides and fosters that more connected workforce. So, for example, facilitating company-wide recognition and communication. Bonusly's platform really enables everyone to recognize and appreciate those contributions, again, across all departments and locations. This helps to really break down those silos and foster that sense of a shared purpose and connection between employees. And Bonusly is accessible. We have a mobile app that ensures all employees, regardless of their work environment, can participate in and witness the company's culture of appreciation, really seeing how that recognition aligns with those company values, reinforces their importance and creates that stronger sense of belonging to the overall mission. Also, the ability to align recognition, awards, and incentives to ensure that expectations are met and the right outcome and behaviors are reinforced. Bonusly ensures that all employees understand what is valued and how those contributions, regardless of their role, really contribute to that bigger picture. And this clarity helps foster a more unified understanding of those expectations. Um, Also, automating those milestone celebrations helps employees feel recognized for their loyalty and their commitment, and not just their productivity, which we think is really important. This ensures that everyone, including those and maybe some of those less visible roles, can still be, felt seen and valued. And that personal touch helps strengthens the connection to the company beyond just some of those normal, everyday, daily tasks. So, some examples of this in action would be Bonusly digital signage. So, with Bonusly digital signage, you can display recent bonuses on any screen in your office. It's a fun way to help increase that visibility of recognition and keep it top of mind for your team. And we also, again, like I mentioned, have that Bonusly mobile app for both iOS and Android, which makes it really easy for employees who don't necessarily sit at a desk to still receive and give that recognition as well as redeeming rewards. The recognition feed is the same on web as it is the mobile app, so everyone feels like part of the team. All right, next up we have awards. You can utilize awards to really help promote and drive company initiatives when making employees feel seen and appreciated for their hard work. So, some examples of awards that we have seen with our customers in the healthcare space include Thanks for Patient Satisfaction, Outstanding Bedside Manner, and patient outcomes, as well as promotions, going above and beyond. Who are your unsung heroes and who are your compassionate caregivers? Next up, we have celebrations, which you all might be familiar with. So, with Bonusly automated celebrations, you can really help nurture a sense of belonging by celebrating personal milestones such as birthday, new hire welcome, and work anniversaries. And the great thing about celebrations is that they really create a waterfall effect of recognition between fellow coworkers, making employees feel both appreciated and celebrated. As you all might have seen, I know this is true within Bonusly internally, is that whenever it's someone's birthday or work anniversary, it's a really joyous day. We have a lot of people commenting on those celebration posts as well as adding on points. And I know from personal experience for me, it's definitely helped make that day a little bit brighter. All right, last up, we have incentives. So, incentives encourage proactive participation among your teams, really allowing users to advocate for themselves and eliminate the feeling that some certain work can tend to go unnoticed. Utilize incentives that can help drive those right behaviors and habits for your organization. So again, here are some examples of incentives that we have seen in the healthcare space. Completion on training, vaccinations, new skills or certifications, as well as compliance. So in terms of compliance, we have seen a couple for protecting patient data, ensuring accurate billing, maintaining workplace safety, as well as upholding some of those quality standard of care. So, to recap, Bonusly works with over 500 healthcare organizations to improve retention and reduce burnout by helping teams feel both appreciated and supported, while also building that unity between frontline and back office staff. Now, what we've found works especially well is recognizing people where care is being delivered. So, with this, teams are using peer to peer recognition with higher allowances for managers, awards tied to real healthcare goals, credential completion, promotion, hospital rankings, etc. Plus, utilizing tools like announcements, milestone celebrations, and digital signage in break rooms, as well as the mobile access to ensure that everyone within the organization feels both included and valued. Bonusly has helped, again, incentivize key healthcare metrics and created a culture focused on excellence so teams can not only deliver better patient care with less administrative burden, but they can also, again, feel appreciated, valued, and supported. All right, so that is it for the presenting aspect of today's call. We're going to go ahead and move on to our discussion. So we want to hear from you on how you currently utilize Bonusly to help drive participation and adoption. So I am going to go ahead and pop open a quick poll for you to take. Let me get that started. I might have to stop screen sharing. Okay, you should see a poll for product utilization on your screen. So we want to hear from you. Do you currently utilize incentives and awards? We'll give it a couple more minutes. I want to make sure that we do get an accurate representation of incentives and awards. Right now, it looks like we've had about 7, 8 responses, and I want to say that there are 10 of us today. All right, we'll give it about one more minute. If you haven't had a chance to utilize the poll, please go ahead and do so now. Looks like the majority have said yes, which is great to see. Alrighty, I'll go ahead and end the poll for us. Thank you all so much for taking that poll. As you can see here, yeah, looks like for incentives, we have 5 out of 8, the other 3 being no. And then for awards, we have 6 out of 8. So I'm happy to see that you all, for the most part, are utilizing those incentives and the awards. Alrighty. I am just downloading those results to keep for myself, and we will jump right back in. Now, we'd love for you to share some of your own success stories and innovative ways that your team is using Bonusly. I'm going to go ahead and go back to screen sharing. And again, we'd love for you to share your own success stories and innovative ways that your team is using Bonusly. So I'm going to go ahead and do some work on my end. I have to take each of you off mute independently, so give me a moment while I do that. Okay. Okay, it looks like everyone should be able to come off of mute. Okay, it looks like everyone should be able to come off of mute now. Brenda? Brenda, it looks like you came off of mute. Is there something that you wanted to discuss?
I am on the phone listening to these, but I just wanted to share that we have used Bonusly in our organization for longer than I have been there. I have been in Primary Health Network for 5 years, and just this year, I took over the administrator role for this platform, and I have been so thankful for all the resources that you guys have on your website. It's been huge for me to put together a proposal to our executive team to get approval for more budget to be able to utilize the awards, the incentives, the nominations. Um, we have a couple of celebrations that we're currently using. And I actually got to meet with all the managers in the network this past Friday to share the new changes. And everyone seems to be so excited. I know initially what everyone wanted was to be able to give more points to all employees. Uh, but that could be a huge cost, especially when we don't know that people is using it properly. So I'm really excited to go to this next step where our managers will be able to issue some of those awards. As you have mentioned, we are implementing attendance. We're also doing, I'm sorry, perfect attendance, one of them. The other one would be for our staff that covers other sites because we do have a couple of clinics in different counties. And also for leaving a review on or Indeed or Glassdoor pages. So yeah, we have a lot of new creative ideas and just overall really excited to start using that. And I hope that everyone else in this meeting is also, enjoying it as much as I am.
Well, Brenda, thank you so much. That was so kind. We really appreciate those kind words, and I'm so glad to hear that, it's been working so well for you and that you're really seeing the success and that everyone is excited about Bonusly. We absolutely love to hear that. And that's a great call out, I think, for both incentives and awards. You know, kind of focusing on that attendance, I think is really important, as well as, maybe giving some of that peer-to-peer recognition when someone else takes a shift over for you. That staff coverage, I'm sure, is really helpful to everyone within the organization. And then, of course, leaving a review on Glassdoor is really important as you work on referrals and hiring new employees. So I'm so glad to hear that. Anyone else have anything that they want to share as well? If you have any specific kind of awards that you currently utilize, have you seen success with them, and how often are they given out?
Sure, I can share.
Jasmine?
Hi. So a lot of the work that we do, I'm in EMS, so we have people from all over the place that come into the area to work. My office is in Kansas. We have another one in Colorado, and that's where most of the people will usually come and work. But we just created a new award. We call it our Community Recognition Award. So when somebody gets a compliment or something like that, when they send a note in to our leadership team, to include myself, they will tell us, like this person did a phenomenal job, something like that. And we get a lot of that stuff internally, but we created that award so that everybody could see, like, look what this person is doing in our community. Considering we're EMS, one of our prime focuses is to support our community. So we felt like those people that did get that acknowledgement from the community deserved some, a little extra recognition. So instead of giving the typical low amount that everybody usually gets for a, hey, good job, the 5 or the 10, um, we actually boosted that up to, I believe it was 50 or 100. And a lot of the crew members has actually expressed how, man, I'd like to see something like that for me. And it's like, it was just a motivation booster for a lot of our crew who come from all over the place, just to see those 4 people that were helping out on a fire get that kind of recognition. So I think the awards are definitely important with sharing with the crew.
I couldn't agree more, Jasmine. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think a lot of elements within Bonusly have almost like a FOMO element, so to speak, right? And so if others are seeing the great work, that their colleagues, coworkers are doing, it kind of motivates them, like you said, to want to potentially be awarded that award at one point. And also, couldn't agree more about the visibility aspect. That's one thing that we always recommend here at Bonusly, that, awards, celebrations, incentives, as well as peer-to-peer be visible to everyone within the company. Just because everyone, again, they should be seen, valued, and celebrated. And so making that recognition, regardless of what type that it is, it should always be public so that everyone can see it and it's visible. Couldn't agree more. Anyone else have any fun, interesting awards that they give out within Bonusly, and see success with?
We've really been loving some of your guys' newer features, like the gratitude gauge for when people are making the posts initially. And we've been loving we've been using like hashtags for like our company values. And I think it really keeps people aligned with our Little Star State values. And we've used the awards and incentives before, but I remember we used them for like personal hobbies. Like we would have like a bookworm award or a community engagement award, and things like that that staff love to redeem. And then they were able to kind of like share about like what books they might have been reading or what are they growing in their garden and things like that. So it's been great for reinforcement, but it's also been great for like morale and boosting our culture.
I love that idea, Celeste. I think that's really interesting, and something that I think I'll probably steal from you to kind of tell my other customers about. That's a great point and such a strong way to build that community within the company. I think, so oftentimes we can get lost in the work, but really building those friendships, those connections, the culture, the community, is very, very important at the end of the day. So I absolutely love that idea. And again, the gratitude gauge. Somewhat fairly new-ish, I would say, maybe last 6 months to 8 months. But if you all haven't taken advantage of it, I highly recommend taking a look. The gratitude gauge really is beneficial, um, to ensure that recognition is essentially done right, that it's meaningful, in the moment. It can recognize the impact. So it's basically just a guide, for your users when giving that peer-to-peer recognition of how recognition should be given. So highly recommend taking a look at the gratitude gauge if you haven't had a chance.
It definitely helps some of our supervisors here in this, like, this behavioral health field be a little bit more specific with their praise. So yeah, our staff have been reaping the benefits of that.
I love to hear that, Celeste. That's great news. I might, if you're okay with it, jot you down for a customer story. I don't know if we have one specific to the gratitude gauge, but it's something that I myself am very passionate about. So I might reach out to you and kind of get more on your thoughts there.
Of course, I would love that.
Perfect. I'm just going to make a note of that real quick. While I'm doing that, anybody else have any specific awards that they want to call out? If not, we're going to go ahead and move over to incentives. Let me just check the timing. Okay, we're still really good on time. All right, let's go ahead and jump over to incentives. So feel free to share any types of incentives that you are currently utilizing that help drive the right behaviors and habits for your organization. And again, feel free to come off of mute. If you have any problems with that, let me know.
We here have a a shift fill-in incentive. So basically, if somebody comes and fills in a shift on short notice, they are automatically given 200 bonusly points, just to promote, people taking in those shifts on last minute. We feel like they deserve something a little extra. And especially with being an EMS, we have to have a crew available. So we thought something extra for those who are willing to take those shifts deserve something extra. That
Yeah. Sorry, Celeste, were you going to jump in?
Oh, no, sorry.
Oh, no, you're okay. Just wanted to make sure. Well, thank you, Jasmine. I think again, I'm sensing a theme in the space here. But I do love the idea of users being able to claim those 200 bonusly points for taking on a shift. Such late notice, as you mentioned, it's something that's really important. Obviously, you need coverage in your industry. So I think that really helps highlight and motivate people to actually take those shifts and get a little bit of an incentive for that. Any other incentives? I don't want to lead you too much, but I know some of my other customers, referrals, I think are big for incentives. Learning new skills or training completion, earning new certifications. Does anyone have any incentives along those lines? No? Okay. What about safety? Does anyone really have any incentives for safety or maybe compliance or even security? Anything along those lines? If not, I hopefully gave you some new ideas.
We use, can you hear me?
Karen, I can.
Okay, hi. We use our incentives for cybersecurity trainings. Our cybersecurity team has a monthly training that they send out to everybody. And if you complete the training, you can go claim an incentive.
Oh, perfect. I love that. And I'm assuming that you require proof for some of those. Is there like a screenshot or a link that they have to shoot over to actually be able to get the points?
Actually, we have not required them to take a screenshot because our cybersecurity team can see whether or not they've completed it. So it's on the team's end that they have approval. And
Got
we do,
it.
yeah, yeah. We also did that for the health and wellness fair.
Yeah.
And last summer, our community behavioral health system did a training for all staff, and it was like 9 or 10 units, and they wanted to give 10 points for completion of each unit, but you had to claim it, and the trainer over there had to approve it. So, yeah, we've been using incentives pretty successfully in those regards.
I'm so happy to hear that. I think, again, like I mentioned, a lot of my customers, they are heavy on incentives for, security training, compliance, like I said, certifications, those sorts of things. So very, very happy to hear that you all are using them and they have been successful. Anyone else want to share any examples? This meeting today is really to give you all ideas of what other people are doing that, maybe could help you out in your company. So really just wanted this to be a collaborative effort of idea sharing. Last thoughts, final thoughts, anyone? Otherwise, we can go ahead and wrap up if nobody has any other incentives or awards that they want to share. No? Okay. Well, I appreciate you all so much for sharing those examples. And I think hopefully you all have had a chance to dive further into those awards and incentives. And maybe for those that haven't set those up quite yet, you have some new examples. So resources. Here are some resources that we recommend bookmarking so that you can reference later on how to increase overall participation and engagement. And don't worry about grabbing these now. I will be sending these over in my follow-up email tomorrow. And I'd love to, get some feedback on today's session. We really want to ensure that today's session was valuable to you and that you learned something new. So shortly after I end the webinar, you should see a survey pop up. We'd really appreciate it if you could fill that out for us. We obviously here at Bonusly are very big on feedback. We want to make sure that, again, these sessions are valuable to you. So we would, again, really appreciate any feedback that you have from us. And you should also see a survey come through in the follow-up email tomorrow as well. So just want to make sure that you know all of the ways that you can give us feedback. We would really, really appreciate it. All right, everyone. Well, that is it for me. Thank you so much for joining today's session, and I really hope that you, again, saw some value from today's session. If you would like to further discuss boosting participation based on your industry a little bit more in depth, we employ you to, reach out to your CSM or the support team, and they can get you to whoever needs to take that on for you. Your Bonusly CSM is more than willing to help you kind of create your own strategy and approach to tailor your recognition efforts that fit within your specific industry. Before I leave you, any last questions? Oh, let's see. Oh, thank you, Sharon. I appreciate it. Any last questions anyone has for me? No? Alrighty, everyone. Well, I will give you 15 minutes of your time back. Again, I thank you all so much for taking the time to discuss this with me, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.